Not the nicest weather today, but I wanted to do a spring tree update. Let's get into it. First is this horse chestnut that I did this year. I love the shape on this tree already. That wire will be coming off in a couple of months or so, but the health of the tree is good, and I'm really looking forward to working on this in the future. I'm not going to touch it for the rest of the year. Here is an alder that I got from the Japanese garden St. Morgan. You guys have seen this one before, but just to let you see it, look, all leafed out and pretty healthy. I do have to sit this one in a tray of water because it's a very thirsty tree. So hindsight being 2020, maybe shouldn't have planted it in something quite as shallow, but luckily I have a matching drip tray for this, so not a problem so far. One of my favorite trees still from this year, the twin trunk birch, sort of like a mother and daughter sort of design. Really nice. I love this tree, it's so beautiful. I'm really happy with the pot that I chose as well. And yeah, just to let you see it kind of leafed out, doing all right. Again, this is probably one that I literally won't touch or fertilize, and just let it extend and address it maybe next year. This is my sort of marme size Japanese maple. I think it's just a regular palmatum, but yeah, that was probably one of the first trees to bud out this year for some reason. So I put it into this tiny little pot, and yeah, again, that one I just, on hot days I've had it in a drip tray, but other than that, it's doing really well. This is an interesting one because we worked on this when Dorian sent me the cut putty, which I believe was possibly like October time, I don't know. I'll link that video. We did some really heavy work on this and cut back loads of pretty mature branches, as you can see. And look, this is all new growth from this year. This tree has just exploded with growth. And again, I think I'll probably leave this one at least until the autumn, just let it recover from that harsh pruning. And then maybe in the spring next year, possibly, we'll look at the roots and do the next stage on this tree. 4 interesting trees I want to talk to you about quickly. This is from Garrett. This is a Florida maple, which I've not really seen anyone else use for bonsai, especially this part of the world. So that's gonna be really cool in the pond basket. Just let that grow on this year. These are some Jacqueline Hillier elm cuttings, are sent by a very lovely subscriber. I'll keep his name anonymous just in case he doesn't want to be mentioned, but these are doing well. Thank you very much for those, mate. This, again, I still don't know what it is. I was given it by a local bonsai enthusiast, but it's now got its own little pot, and it's quite nice. It's got really lovely colors that come out. And these are golden chain tree seedlings that I did a video on in the spring. These are, yeah, they're quite overwhelmed in that pot. I think they might struggle this year, but the ones that survive will make it into some sort of forest planting maybe next year. Okay, 2 examples of collected beech. These were collected in the same general-ish location at fairly similar times of the year as well. Maybe there was a month or 2 between them, definitely no more than 2 months. This is a tree that I really want to survive and make it, and so far it doesn't really look like it's actually doing much at all. This one is really interesting and cool, but I wasn't really too fussed, and look, this one's made it and is leafing out and doing really well, and I'm confident that that will survive. So it goes to show, the less you care about your collected material, the more likely it is to survive. Brilliant. Okay, sweet chestnut update. Looks like we're growing weeds. Survived, and survived. This one's a little bit slower, but again, no pruning on these whatsoever this year. We're just going to leave them be. But yeah, looks like they're all doing all right. Blackthorn or Prunus spinosa, this one budding out from the base. It's got a spider living in there. This one is doing really well, leafed out lovely, quite small leaves as well, so I'm really happy with that. This is probably, I think, the first tree that I repotted this year, and it's doing really well, I'm glad to say. Okay, one tree that you have seen before, one that you haven't. This is the Crazy Twisty Field Maple. I'm sure you've all seen that video. That is a great tree. It looks like it's doing fine. Excited about that. Again, no pruning. This you haven't seen before. This I repotted this year into a sort of more bonsai-ish dish. It was in a flower pot before. This is an English walnut, just about to leaf out. Very cool. Again, one tree you have seen, one tree you haven't. This is the root of a rock baby birch, or as Tony said, the jockey, because it does look a little precarious. Yeah, that one's doing fine. And this is one you haven't seen before. This is a collected little evergreen spruce, maybe, don't know. Very cool. This is a beautiful coloured air layered 9 bark, which I got from our garden, just air layered from a really bushy garden tree. It's doing well, as you can see. We have roots and things, so I'm really confident that this one is actually okay. I'm going to do it a massive favour though and not prune it this year. I pruned it last year, even though I'd only just taken it off as an air layering, which was a bad move, but I think this is so strong and has actually survived, so that's brilliant. Here is the big Cotoneaster that we did about a month ago, something like that. I had a very negative comment that told me I'd done this and that wrong, and I try not to take those things to heart. But to that person, screw you. It is doing well and even has a shoot in there, which is crazy. So looking forward to working on this tree in the future. But yes, doing pretty well. Here is another tree that you have never seen on the channel. This is a lilac. I collected this from an auction site for I think about £15 or something like that. It was absolutely huge. There is this sort of sacrificial branch that goes up and up and up and up and is sort of collecting some energy up there. Lovely lilac. And yes, the root structure on this is fantastic. Excuse the bits of weed. This one is just recovering and waiting for its time on the bench, which might not even be this year, to be honest, because I want these to elongate and to harden off and establish before I take this sacrificial off. And then we'll look at these roots again. The soil level was, I think, about there, so this has all been under the soil, but it definitely looks like it has survived, and that will be going into a bonsai pot next spring. So this one I've been really excited to update you guys on. This is the Yamadori hawthorn, and look at this thing. It's even got these suckers coming up here as well. We've got buds under there, and yeah, all of this lot. I think this tree has survived. I think it's doing well. Probably really loves that soil. And yeah, this one is doing fine. So if you don't remember that video, I'll link it now. But yeah, the plan will be cut it off here one day and do a fairly stumpy but thick formal or informal upright, depending on what the structure is under there. But this is going to get left for 2 years before we touch anything really. So that's that. Can't believe it. I'm so happy that it made it. Next, this is the dwarf picea that we worked on in the autumn, and as you can see, it's just starting to push some new growth, so that's a really good sign. I can't wait to look at the roots at this, probably again, yeah, next year. We'll address this and get it into something a bit shallower. Here is a giant Pieris japonica that is doing pretty well actually. Lovely flowers that have just finished. I would love to get it out of this tub, I really would. I think I'm going to wait another year just to let it get nice and strong. Yes, it's alive and healthy, it's doing its thing. It's difficult to keep on top of because this is a pretty heavy compost type soil. There's not too much drainage, the weeds grow profusely no matter how much you sort of de-weed it. So yeah, I'm going to keep this tree, but probably won't see much of it this year because honestly it's just a bit of a mammoth at the minute until I can either prune it back or get it into a more manageable pot. I'm going to show you this as well, the Desojo air layer now coming into leaf. This color is absolutely insane. I really can't wait to work on this tree. Lower branches still alive and healthy. We've got new buds popping out. This first branch doing well. Nora painted this rock up for me. She's so cute. So yeah, there's the Desojo. Norway spruce next to it, feeling a bit sorry for itself. I don't think this one's going to pull through, unfortunately, but £10 well spent, I'd say. It was a good experience, if nothing else. All right, let's have a look in the greenhouse. The success rate of the seeds just germinating outside has been probably about 50%. So these ones in the top don't really have anything growing in them, because these are the ones I think probably have failed. But they're in the top of the greenhouse just in case something wants to emerge. Obviously that's where it gets the most humidity. Moving down, Guy Watson, Bognor Regis Bonsai, your Judas tree seeds coming up lovely. Some maples from across the road, and these are Orange Dream, possibly, can't remember. We've got Golden Chain Tree, which is a type, but this is a Golden Rain Tree. They are different trees. Those are coming up. Don't know what these are, that's the fun of it. Some more Japanese maples. These are Wallamai tree cuttings, one of the rarest trees in the world. Really excited to see if any of those take. Hopefully they will. We've got some more Japanese maples, some larch cuttings, some projects, and the Chinese elm forest just sat down there, staying protected for now. And Jules, I know you're watching, this one's for you, buddy. So here are the Canadian Reds. Here is my one surviving liquid amber, some Acer palmatums. This was supposed to be a trident, but I'm thinking it's actually the same as the Canadian Reds. So still lovely, can't wait to grow that on. And our collected seeds of dissectums and different kinds of maples, and the Osaki maple as well. So Jules, all your seedlings are doing really, really well, mate. There we are, I hope you enjoyed that. That was an update video for spring of 2023. Sorry I've not posted as many videos as I'd like to. Like I said, my health has not been brilliant this year, so I really haven't had the start that I've wanted, but we have done some really good work. We've made some good videos and we've got some brilliant trees on the go. That was just a quick little update and to show you some of the trees, some of which you've never seen before, some I haven't updated you on in a very, very long time. So I hope that helps and answered any questions. If there are any trees that you're wondering where they are and you haven't seen them, they might have died. Or if not, leave me a comment and I'll try and include that in the next one. Other than that, if you want to help support the channel, there are links in the description. Wherever you're in the world, make sure you take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.